first off, Justin, congratulations and welcome back to the Dodgers. I know fans and everyone is just thrilled to have you back. What was one of your key reasons for deciding to stay in Los Angeles?
Well, before I get into that, I'd like to say welcome to the Dodgers. Glad to have you on board. Looking forward to spending some time getting to know you. And to answer your question, obviously, LA and the Dodgers hold a pretty big spot in my heart. I've spent the last 7 years here, making a ton of memories, really seeing my career kind of turn around and take off. And it's a place that's always been special to me. And going into the off season and through this free agency process, it's something that obviously never left my mind.
Well, thank you so much, I must say. Now, Andrew just came on, said that you looked good, and he's just excited to have you back. I'm not going to make you twirl, but how are you feeling being back this spring training?
He told you guys that, and I thought he was joking. I didn't know he actually said it, but I feel really good. I'm excited. It's obviously been a weird offseason. The last 7 years, I've spent almost every day of my offseason at Dodger Stadium, training, working out, hitting, taking ground balls. And obviously didn't have that opportunity this year. So it was a little bit weird, a little bit different off season, trying to figure out, how to get all my workouts in and stuff. But I'm just excited to be back out on a baseball field and in this locker room with these guys and ready to get started on another mission to win another championship.
Well, congratulations again. Thank you.
Next question is from Dave Vassay. Go ahead, Dave. Good.
Justin, what was your reaction to the reaction the fans gave you when you posted that you were coming back on your social media platforms? Were you still at this point of your career in LA surprised by all that reaction, positive reaction from them?
I don't want to say surprised because honestly, the fans all offseason have been reaching out through social media, encouraging me to come back, expressing their desire for me to come back. And the support's been unbelievably overwhelming. My wife and I take our dogs on walks through the neighborhood every night. And there were people walking down the streets yelling, "You got to sign back. You got to come back." So, when it all got finalized, I guess today it's official, but when we announced it Saturday, just the overwhelming response from the best fans in all of baseball, I think was par for the course. And that's why I love them so much. I try to give back as much as I can to them. And, like I said, they are the best fans of baseball. And I think I've said it my whole career here. It doesn't matter what time of the year it is. When you walk around, especially in Los Angeles, Dodger blue is everywhere.
This process, did it take longer than you expected? And what did you find out there? Were you looking to be courted as some players like to be during free agent from other teams? What was the entire process this time around for you like?
Yeah, it was a little different. Obviously, going into this offseason, coming off of last year, I think there was a little bit of expectation for it to be a little slower than normal, trying to figure out, what this upcoming season was going to look like and how everything was going to go. But even then, I still think it felt like it was an eternity, right? It felt like it took forever. But the process for me was great. I had a lot of good conversations with some other organizations and other competitive teams. And one of my biggest things in free agency was wherever I ended up, I wanted to make sure I was on a competitor and I wanted to have a chance to win another World Series, if not multiple World Series. So it was definitely flattering to have to be courted like that from other teams that are competitive, other teams that are trying to make a big splash. But at the end of the day, it all worked out how it was supposed to, and I'm back in Dodger blue like I was supposed to be.
Just one final question. How close was it for you to be in a different uniform?
I don't know. It's hard to say if it was ever close or not, but there was definitely some ups and downs throughout the process where, that some things happened where I wasn't sure whether or not I was actually going to end up back with the Dodgers. But I think through the whole process with my agent, Greg Ginsky, and Vayner Baseball was incredible. The communication lines were open, and the conversations with him and Andrew and him passing that on to me, it was pretty reassuring that the desire to have me back here was still there. But there were some times where I was like, oh man, like this doesn't look good. Like I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Next question is from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Hey, Justin, were you worried at all by how last season, the last night ended, that it could affect, you coming back to the Dodgers?
I don't know if I was worried. I don't know. I didn't know what it was going to do. Honestly, I didn't know if that was going to be a big factor in the Dodgers decision on wanting me back, or any other team for that matter. So going into the process, it was definitely a big question mark and a big unknown as to how people were going to perceive that and how people were going to pursue me. But once I got into conversations, not only with the Dodgers, but other teams, and cleared the air on that stuff, it all kind of, just started moving forward and building momentum.
And we haven't talked to you since then. Just what were your emotions like? You win a World Series, you've been working your whole life for it, you do it for your hometown team, and then all that other stuff's happening too. Just what were your emotions that night and, the week, 2 weeks after?
Yeah, it was extremely difficult. I think I experienced just about every range of emotion that you can possibly have. Obviously, getting taken out of the game, trying to figure out what was happening, winning the World Series, being excited, being thrilled, seeing Julio get that last out. You finally accomplished your goal. But then for me, sitting back in that room and watching the guys dogpile, personally, I felt like it was the third time I had to sit and watch a team celebrate winning a World Series. So that was tough. And that's something that, is on the top of my list. I still have not been able to be on the field for the last out to celebrate a championship. And that's something I'm determined to show up and work for every day and have that experience at the end of this year.
And just one more for me. Did you think the DH, not having the DH, affect your market at all?
I mean, obviously it wouldn't have hurt the market if there was a DH, but I think everything worked out fine. And like I said, I'm happy to be where I am, and we'll see what happens with the DH. The season still hasn't started. A lot of things changed last year before the 60-game season, right before it started. So it'll be interesting to see if there actually is a DH or not this year. We'll see.
Next question is from Ken Rosenthal. Go ahead.
Hey, Justin, congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, just looking to this year, what are your personal goals? What would you like to do?
Simple. I don't set a lot of personal goals. My objective is to show up every day and be available for Doc and try to help us win a game one day at a time. And that's something that I think a lot of teams talk about, but it's something that this team actually does every day. It's literally the process is show up every day, win one game that day, and then figure out tomorrow. And I guess that's my biggest goal is to help our team win a game every day and help guys buy into that process, because I know it's a successful recipe to play deep into October.
Next question is from Juan Toribio. Go ahead.
Hey, Justin, you mentioned that you wanted to play for a competitor, and you also mentioned you still haven't been out there for a celebration. Was part of your process in free agency wanting to do that with the Dodgers as opposed to anybody else?
Well, obviously, if you look at this roster, it's a great team and a lot of really good players, and I believe that the Dodgers are one of the best in the game. So they were definitely at the top of my list, and for more reasons than obviously just being competitive and having a chance to win a World Series. But yes, that is a big reason that they were on top of the list.
And then what was kind of your reaction seeing what the Padres were doing? I mean, kind of being part of that rivalry, I guess, that's building. Did that play a role into anything, or is it just kind of fun to be part of that now?
You know, it's exciting watching what they're doing. I think it's good for the game of baseball. They're going out and being aggressive and going for it, and it's good to see teams doing that. And I think the way I look at it now that I'm back here with the Dodgers is, you know, we're going to get 19 World Series games this year. So it'll be a good test for us, a good preparation to get ready for the playoffs.
Thank you.
We got time for a couple more. Go ahead, Claudia.
Justin, congrats. Great to see you again here.
Thank you.
So, how you feel about going to some normality and see fans in the stands again?
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. You know, we got a small taste of it, you know, with the NLCS and the World Series in Texas, having fans in. And I know they're letting some fans in here to spring training to watch baseball. And as excited as I am, I'm sure the fans are a million times more excited to be able to get back out and watch, you know, the game that they love and see us get back to work and hopefully have a full season. And as things progress, hopefully we can get more and more fans in. I know our ownership group has put a lot of work into our stadium and upgrading it, and no one's been able to experience that yet. So I'm really excited for our fans to get into Dodger Stadium, hopefully, and experience all these new upgrades. The stadium's unbelievable. They did a great job, and I think they're really going to enjoy it.
Last question from Maria. Go ahead.
Hey, JT, so glad to have you back in Dodger Blue. You know, many of us refer to you as the heart and soul of the Dodgers, and in addition to your amazing talent, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the ultimate compliment. When you play for an organization that has so many great players and has so much history, to be kind of embedded into the LA Dodgers and to represent the city of Los Angeles and get the recognition for that is it's awesome. I don't know the right word to describe it, but like I said, when I announced that I was coming back and the just outpour of support from all the fans was truly incredible. And it is the best place to play in baseball. We have the best fans. It's so exciting, and I'm happy to continue to be a part of it.